Thank God it is a special day for American College and Tamil Heritage Foundation International, because nearly 750 plus participants all over the world are registered in this program. We will start the program with prayer by Dr. Justin Jabaraj.
Our loving Heavenly Father, thank you for giving us a wonderful day. Lord, help our hands to do all things loving, kind, and true. Lord, bless our principal, all the HODs, eminent professors, and the staff who involved in here. We give you all the dignitaries and the participants. Bless them and lead us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Yeah, thank you. Really, it's a special occasion because the entire world is talking about smart city concepts. It's a more of a corporate type of discussions happening all over the world. But special thanks to the Tamil Heritage Foundation International to give a chance to discuss this topic, sustainable and smart village concepts, which is prevalent all over the world, and more specifically the component of green economics, a component of Gandhian economics, component of Indian economics. So it's a very wonderful session. Now I request and invite our principal, Dr. Davamani Christober, Principal and Secretary of the American College, to inaugurate this international webinar. Please, sir.
Good afternoon, friends. Can you hear my voice?
Yeah.
Yes. International webinar on sustainable and smart villages. Respected PG and Research Head of the Department of American College, Dr. Muthuraja, Dr. Kannan, the UG Head, our good friend, Dr. Subashini from Germany, who is going to felicitate, and guest speakers, Mr. Webri, Ms. Webri, Veliana from Jakarta, Indonesia, Dr. Kannan, the alumni from Malaysia, faculty of American College and other colleges, and student friends. Great day to all. First of all, I must congratulate the head of the Postgraduate and Research Department of Economics of the American College and its staff, and thanks to the resource persons, Dr. Subashini, the founder, president of THFi Germany, the director of Kadigai, and THFi Virtual Academy of Excellence, and Dr. Webri Veliana, the founder and CEO of Greenwave NGO, Jakarta, Indonesia, and Dr. Kannan, the MD Smart Green Consultancy from Malaysia, for accepting our request to be the chief guest. Department of Economics of the American College has a great tradition and one of the popular departments among all. A lot of alumni occupied the political and other higher positions in India. Their alumni spread all over the world. Not only the faculty, but also the students are vibrant. The economics department of the American College is such a popular department. Congratulations for your wonderful initiation in international webinar on sustainable and smart villages. A wonderful topic in collaboration with Tamil Heritage Foundation International. Friends, entire world kept quiet even after 1.5 years. What we are going to do, don't know. We have to find out how to overcome these kind of hurdles and problems that the entire humanity is facing now. Anything we have to accept. We have to adapt ourselves for any kind of situation. This is God's will. God gave a chance to think about our future. Yes, it's a God-given break in tech world. Yes, it is an exercise to all to face tomorrow's world. In this kind of situation, many departments in the college came forward to conduct webinars, workshops, conferences for the benefit of their students, faculty, and also to the researchers and public. Likewise, the economics department, they are organizing an international webinar on sustainable and smart villages now. Earlier, they have organized many such webinars with a lot of participants from all over the world. This topic is a new one. The whole world is focusing on COVID-19, whereas the economics department, along with Tamil Heritage of International, focusing on sustainable and smart villages. As Mr. Kannan pointed out, we have a memorandum of understanding with many villages. We have adopted many villages through the service learning program and through NSS. I do appreciate the efforts of PG and Research on Economics for organizing such a useful webinar. In American College, we have BA Economics, MA Economics, BA Economics in both Tamil and English medium, and world-class postgraduate, and also it's a research department. I appreciate their social concern. Friends, I am happy to inaugurate the national level webinar on sustainable and smart villages, organized by the PG and Research Department of Economics of the American College, to the students, researchers, and public during the lockdown period caused by the COVID-19, along with Tamil Heritage Foundation International. It's my pleasure to thank again the resource person, Dr. Subashini, the founder president of THFi Germany, director of Kadigai, Dr. Webri, Veliana, the founder and CEO, Greenwave NGO Jakarta, and Dr. Kannan, MD Small Green Consultancy, Malaysia, for accepting to be the resource persons in the national webinar today. Dr. Subashini is a good friend of mine as well as our college. Whenever she visits India, she used to visit our college. She's a vibrant woman interested in organizing such needy programs. She traveled all over the world and has a lot of experience in conducting such webinars. And also Dr. Kannan from Malaysia is our alumni, also a good friend of many of us. Hope this program will be useful to all. Once again, I congratulate the Faculty of Economics, webinar coordinators, Dr. Usha from American College, Dr. Vivekanandan from Tamil Heritage Foundation International, Chennai, UG head Dr. Convener, PG head Dr. Muthuraja, and the faculty and students for their wonderful initiative. God bless.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Really, we must thank on behalf of the committee. Normally, any program will start with welcome address. Purposely, we invited our institutional head because our institutional head gave a big boost to the department as well as this program. That's why first we invited our principal. Now, before inviting Dr. Subashini, I requested Dr. K. Usha to officially welcome the participants and leaders, please.
Good afternoon to respect. Good afternoon to respected dignitaries and all the participants of the first international webinar. It's my great pleasure for his presence today. This webinar is a collaborative effort of Tamil Heritage Foundation International, and PG and Research Department of Economics, the American College, Madurai, Tamil Nadu. I welcome the Chief Patrons, Dr. M. Davamani Christober, Principal and Secretary, the American College, and Dr. K. Subashini, Founder, President of Tamil Heritage Foundation International, Director of Kadigai, Germany, and on behalf of PG Research Department of Economics, I welcome our guest speakers, Dr. Webri, Veliana, founder and CEO of Greenwave, NGO, Jakarta, Indonesia, and Dr. N. Kannan, MD, Smart Green Consultancy, Malaysia, for this program. And also I welcome the convener, Dr. C. Muthuraja, Head of Postgraduate Department of Economics, and I extend my warm welcome to G. Kannapiran, Head UG Graduate Department of Economics, and faculty members. We welcome all the dignitaries and participants across the world. It's my duty to welcome the organizing committee members. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Usha. It's a great pleasure to invite Dr. Subashini. Normally, individuals are known as an individual, but here Dr. Subashini is known as an institution. How an individual become an institution, that's an example of Dr. Subashini, because every people who loves Tamil knows about Subashini and her team, along with Dr. Kannan. It's more or less like getting more energy from Subashini. I humbly request Dr. Subashini to give a big felicitation to this program as well as to American College. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good afternoon and vanakkam to all of you in this forum. I welcome the guest speakers of this event, Professor Dr. Narayanan Kannan and Ms. Webri, Veliana, and all participants. I understand that Ms. Veliana is from Indonesia, and also a few members from Indonesia is here. So my selamat petang also. I do speak Malay. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. M. Davamani Christober and the management of American College to join hand in organizing this event today. A special thanks and congratulations to Dr. Muthuraja for approaching Tamil Heritage Foundation with this idea, which eventually developed up to this level today, and where we are all now being together here in this forum to discuss on a very important topic that concerns the people all over the world, that is sustainable and smart villages. Basically, my grandparents are from a village in the Tanjore district. Though my mother migrated to Malaysia and later I moved out of Malaysia and settled in Germany, Europe, I used to admire farming culture in Germany. And even in small cities and outskirts of large cities, there we can see large fields filled up with crops and natural fertilizers are heavily used throughout Germany. And even though Germany claimed to be the largest country that manufacture and sell chemical fertilizers all over the world, and farming becomes an essential part all over the world, not limited by boundaries and climate. And the notion of how we can develop smart villages and sustain them in order to create opportunities to lead a life that does not harm nature is the top priority for all of us here. And I strongly believe today the audience will get ample exposure to tons of ideas from our special guest. And stay tuned and make use of this forum to enhance your knowledge. Congratulations and best wishes. Thank you. And a small information to Dr. Christober. I just landed in Tamil Nadu 2 days back, and I'm in Tamil Nadu now. And I will be taking my tour next week. And most probably I will be coming there to Madurai as well, probably for 1 day. So if there's a chance, then I will come to the college as well. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
I think unmute. Mr. Muthuraja is.
Thank you, madam. Normally in Tamil Nadu, people are saying they won't recognize Tamil Ponnu in Tamil Nadu, whereas a Tamil Ponnu is ruling entire world through Tamil Heritage Foundation International. Thanks for your valuable blessings and felicitations.
Thank you.
Now I am very happy to introduce popular international speakers, but after going through the full-fledged CV, I think there is no need to introduce them into the audience. For a grammar reasons, I must introduce these big people. First speaker, Dr. Webri Veliana. Dr. Webri Veliana is a female environmental leader committed to helping Indonesian communities become safe and sustainable with the local economies that grow in harmony with the environment. It's very rare to see many women are engaging with the green activities. One such leader is Dr. Webri. Despite having a degree in education, and her longest profession was in the airline business, in 2016, Webri decided to follow her heart and commit her life to environmental service. A great shift. Through a combination of self-learning and volunteer projects, he developed the Panka Krida, I don't know the language, environmental preservation system. Then in 2017, Webri founded Greenwave, an international NGO, a non-profit focused on waste management and environmental preservation. It's a great news for many individuals. Her organization has been working together with the government of Wana City Village, a local environmental workers group called Bangakala Wana Sedi. I don't know the correct pronunciation. I'm using my Tanglish. Social marketing at the Griffith University Australia Awards, Circular Economy Club, and Women's Earth Alliance to make Wana City a leading circular economy village in 2021. Eventually, Wana City has been inaugurated as an educational tourism village with a theme of waste management based on circular economy by the region of Regency in 05 March 2021. Because of time consideration, I'm not able to fully go through the entire thing. It's entire CV will be uploaded for our participants for convenient purpose. I hope our participants will disturb these two speakers in near future for many programs. Next speaker, Professor Dr. Narayanan Kannan. Dr. Narayanan Kannan is essentially an interdisciplinary person with a background in biology and chemistry, with a specific focus on environmental problems. He done some basic taxonomy on pesticides, on household pests during his BSc, MSc, it was during 1970-75. He got into environmental analytical chemistry during his PhD work in India during 76-85. He is also popular in the form of his work. That means he developed in India a work called what we call Mango Karacho Fellowship in Japan in terms of interdisciplinary focus with the science background, where he continued the environmental studies on industrial trace chemicals such as PCPs, taxons, etc. And this international training and the teaching experience gave Dr. Narayanan Kannan the power to be adaptive and innovative in his research at UBM Malaysia. With his essential teaching load on environmental courses, he also worked on environmental problems in Malaysia. He developed a simple semi-preamble membrane devices to monitor air pollution. That means he is more or less like environmental activist in terms of researcher. With minimum equipment and measurement techniques like GCMS, HSGCFID, AAS, we are able to measure toxic chemicals in waste motor engine oil, atmosphere, and marine sediments. And more specifically, I must make a very important mention, what do you call his academic endeavor in this field. With a high index of 37, Dr. Kannan, with his international publication citation, is considered one of the top 10 experts in the field of environmental taxonomy. I repeat, he considered one of the top 10 experts in the field of environmental taxonomy because, well, only few people are working and researching in this field at global level. We are going to be proud of Dr. Narayan and Kannan. I think we have a very long list. We have videos also about these two speakers. Because of time consideration, I'm limiting myself by way of introducing with the minimum points. Really, again, I must thank these two speakers on behalf of the American College and the Tamil Heritage Foundation International. Without wasting my time, I straight away inviting Dr. Webri to present her own presentation. I think each presenter, they are going to take 35 to 45 minutes by way of sharing own thoughts. After two presentations, we'll have an interaction. I think we will invite experts and participants to ask more questions. Then we will wind up. Dr. Kannan, I hope now you can start your presentation. After your presentation, we will make all the people unmute. Then Madam will join with us. So it's a humble request to Dr. Kannan. Please, sir, you can start.
Yeah, okay. Hello, good afternoon from India to all of you. I feel extremely happy to be here today in this international seminar on sustainability and smart villages. I'm doubly happy because American College, where I stayed for 7 years and studied my pre-university bachelor's and master's, and I also worked as a faculty for a year. And I'm also happy that the Tamil Heritage Foundation, which I co-founded with Dr. Subashini, consider actually natural heritage or the natural environment as part of our heritage. We call in Tamil as Mudusam. The Mudusam is something you inherit from your ancestors. So our natural environment is also we inherit from our ancestors. And so Tamil Heritage Foundation is extremely happy to be involved in this one. The third thing I really appreciate Miss Jacqueline Chang, who is actually the person behind actually selecting Miss Webri from Indonesia. She actually conducts this international circular economy club. She's from Malaysia, and she's very happy participating, interacting with many of the global environmentalists, and she is very ready to help me out in making this international seminar. Sorry, I do hear a noise from somewhere. Whose noise is that?
Friends, it's a humble request to all our friends. Please mute yourself, except speakers, because sometimes we have to get a quality presentation from speaker. It's a humble request to all our friends, please.
Somebody is not yet unmuted. Who is talking? Please stop. Okay, good. As I told you, like I'll start this presentation with a PowerPoint. Somebody is keep talking, that really interferes with my talking. I hope they will stop it. Good. So see, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you the concept of smart villages. So I'm not going into the details. It's only a concept paper. And every point that I give here, there are lots of facts behind that, and there's a lot of data and science behind it. But what I'm going to present to you is only...
Excuse me, Dr. Kannan, sir. Sorry for troubling you.
Yes.
1 second, we will unmute all the people. Then we will ask you to present. 1 second, sir.
Yeah.
You can unmute again. Then you can join, please.
Okay.
Please, sir. Now you can join, please.
Okay, so I unmute this and share the screen again. 1 second.
I hope now you will have no problem, please.
Yes, you are right. You are right. Okay. Good. So let's start from the universe to begin with. See, for example, as you see here, you're all very familiar with the image of a planet Earth. And what is so special about the planet Earth? The planet Earth is the only living planet in the entire known universe. When I say known universe, science is progressing, science is proposing that there may be planets like Earth elsewhere in the universe, but still, for us, for humans, there is only one home, and that is planet Earth, and it's called as a blue jewel. And so this is a point we need to actually remember throughout this talk. We are talking about our home, and the home is in trouble. That's what we are going to discuss about it. And if you look at this planet Earth, it hasn't happened just in a day or two or in 2 weeks of time. Science reveals that planet Earth, it took nearly 4 billion years to evolve. In this 4 billion years, we call it as a geological age. Like so. 4 billion years, the first billion years or so was as full of bombardment, and meteor shower, and it was totally a hostile environment. And only about a billion years later, the planet Earth slowly started actually kind of breathable, in the sense before that it was full of obnoxious gases, and the planet was not actually, as we see now, breathable with oxygen. Okay, so if you consider this 4 billion years and put it is in one clock, okay, like it took the 4 billion years as 12 hours, okay, then you will see here actually the origin of life began only at 4 o'clock in the morning. Till then, there was no life at all. It was a dead planet. So around 4 o'clock in the morning, the life began. And then around, for example, about 2 p.m., the single-celled organisms start coming, the algae. Imagine, it took so long for the planet Earth to create one single-celled organism. It took 2 billion years or more. Okay, so only around 2 o'clock in this clock that life began, and then what we see as male and female and the sexual reproduction began only around 6 o'clock in the evening. Okay, so late actually. And then you start seeing jellyfish and trilobites and other organisms, and the land plant, what we see here, as full of plants and life, around. And that took only nearly about 10 o'clock in the night only it started coming up. Okay, and the dinosaurs came and vanished around 11 p.m. In the night. And the humans, okay, he's the last arrival on this planet Earth if you look at this evolutionary scale. And he entered planet Earth at 11:58:45, almost the last minute. Okay, only at the last minute, sorry, he made an entry into planet Earth. This is very important to see that some of the insects and then the fish are much older than us. Okay, and we need to really respect other living beings. It is very important to see that we are the last arrival in this planet Earth. But the unfortunate thing is, though we are the last arrival in this planet Earth, okay, what we have done in the last 50 years, okay, if you consider this global living planet index, just in the last 50 years, we exterminated 60% of wildlife in this planet Earth. What a tragic thing, you see. Among the 16,704 populations representing about 4,000 species, now the scientists have carried out this index, and they realized that in the last 50 years we lost 60%. Not only that, actually what happened was we start actually removing the rainforest, like in Amazon as well as in Borneo. Okay, so nearly in the last 50 years, again, about 20% of the Amazon forest has been removed. And remember, these tropical forests are considered as the lungs of planet Earth. And so we are removing our own lungs. And while I was in the kiosk in Korea, a scientist from Environmental Protection Agency, USA, showed us, in his presentation, opening up a gullet, one of the seabirds, and showing that it's full of plastics. And there are islands in the Pacific where birds die because they were eating all the plastic. And that was only 5% in 1960. But now, 90% of the world's seabeds are all estimated to have fragments of plastic. So plastic is a major pollution on planet Earth. And only in the last century, like we have lost nearly a high extinction rate for the freshwater fish. That is another tragic thing. And over several thousand years of measurements, the scientists have found the global average temperature has risen about 170 times. So that means from the background level. So a lot of things are happening around. And now we are in the so-called climate crisis. So climate change is no joke. It is serious. It is happening right there. The average global temperature on planet Earth is increasing about 0.8 Celsius. Okay. You may, from 1880, you may say, what is this big increase of 0.8 Celsius? But this particular 0.8 Celsius on a global level actually put half of plants and animals on planet Earth at risk. Okay, so it has far-reaching consequences on planet Earth. And because of our industrialization and the production of carbon dioxide, we pump in about 2 billion tons of carbon dioxide into the ocean as a result of acidifying the ocean. Because of this acidification, a lot of species are getting extinct. And the other dangerous thing, what's happening is there is a seawater rise. The sea levels are rising about 1 to 6 feet before the end of this century. And what does it mean? Sea level rise, okay, of this scale would completely inundate low-lying areas like Bangladesh and the Netherlands, and Manhattan will be gone. And a large portion of India on the coastline will be sea level rise. And another dangerous thing, I've been watching here in India. Now I'm in India and locked up because of the corona. And from the last August, August, September, October, all these 3 months is very cloudy, rainy in the southern state. I have never seen so much of rain, but these are all predicted, because of the moisture content on the atmosphere. Rains are predicted, and so extreme events. Look at the high temperature in Germany, 40 degrees, and in Canada about 42 degrees. And these are all happening. The extreme events are happening more frequently these days because of the climate change and our impact. The unfortunate a report says that humanity consumes 1.75 times more natural resources than our planet Earth can regenerate. Okay, so that means we are over consuming. What does it mean? So imagine that you have been given a salary. Normally we are given a salary on the first day of the month, and then we take 31 days to spend the time. Spend the money. Okay, imagine that you have been given a 1-year salary. Okay, and how much you will spend it within that 1-year period. It's very unfortunate, countries like Qatar and Luxembourg will spend all the money within the first 2 months. Okay, and most of the other European countries like Germany, France, Norway, and other things may take a few more months, they may hold on till April, May, and then the money is gone. Okay, and most of the developing countries, probably they pull on till July and August and up to September, and then the money is gone. Okay, and in this chart, it's only Indonesia, probably Webri may feel happy, that they hold on till April 18th or so. So it is supposed to be, that reflects that how much utilization and your consumption rate. And if you look at it, how many years do we need, if the world population lived like, let's say, USA, if you live a life like the Americans, okay, you need 5 planet Earths to survive. Okay, we don't have 5 planet Earths, we have only 1 planet Earth, right? The Australia needs 4.1 planet Earth, the Germany needs 3 Earths to survive, the Japan is 2.81. Unfortunately, this chart shows India needs 0.7 Earth extra. Okay, that's a good sign, and that's partly because this is what I insist that recently, after coming out to India during the COVID time, I initiated a new field called cultural ecology or cultural environmentalism. The low rate, what you see in India, is mainly because the Indian seers, the saints, and the Indian culture itself is essentially sustainable. They try to live a simple life, but a happy life. Okay, so there are plenty of actually cultural heritage, which is not spoken much, which is hidden, which I am trying to reveal slowly, which I call it as cultural environmentalism. So naturally, most of the planet Earth, with humans living mostly on the coastlines, okay, and the urban population is not going to move away from the cities. There are going to be more people living on cities. 66% in 2050. What does it mean? That means you have an extra 125% more demand for resources. I already told you we don't have resources. We have stolen the future of our children and grandchildren, and we are living on a stolen resources of our future generation. And it says we need another 90 billion extra to sustain about 2.5 million extra people in the cities. So everywhere, whether it is in Africa or in Asia or Latin America or in more developed countries, like this trend is going on. So instead of having more plants, trees, and other things, what we have is, instead of a real jungle, we have actually a concrete jungle. And the worst news is that China is planning to migrate 260 million people from villages to cities. Just imagine what would be the catastrophic effect of this migration on planet Earth. And what this creates, a lot of problems to the environment, okay, a pollution and a whole lot of things. And an estimate says about 13 million deaths could be prevented if we improve our environment. I was very surprised to get this news from a friend from Environmental Protection Agency, USA, that 85% of all human diseases are caused by environmental reasons. Before, people were always telling us that it's a congenital, it is inherited. It's no more. 85% of human diseases, including the corona, is part of environmental damages. The corona is mainly because of habitat loss and wildlife mismanagement and a lot of other things. Okay, and so the environment accounts for 2/3 of the cancer in the USA. And so if it is a congenital reason, then we can't change the gene, which even now we could do that, but still, but you can change your environment. Okay, when I say environment, like it involves industrial chemicals. That is my second PhD in Japan. On agricultural chemicals, my first PhD in India. And then byproducts of combustion like PAHs and dioxins and BTEX and a whole lot of other chemicals, which I worked in Malaysia. And then about infectious agents and then the microbiomes and food nutrients and prescription drugs. Drug is a pollution. Probably this is another topic, I can take and talk about it in a course, actually, a coursework. Okay. So all these things form the so-called our current environment. And we are like this little child, who is sleeping innocently, okay, without realizing any of these problems. That's the dangerous thing. And I was very surprised to see that normally you may say, okay, if there's an air pollution, I get this cough because of the air pollution. During the corona time, I never get any cold or cough. But now they opened up the things and plenty of air pollution now. Normally, you will imagine an air pollution will give a pulmonary disease or, let's say, asthma, things like this. But my friend from USA told me that Air pollution can cause obesity. Can you believe that? Autism, huh? And then in developmental disabilities, and air pollution can affect your IQ. Mind that. So air pollution is dangerous, and actually, like when I came to India during this Corona time, I told people more than Corona, the people dying out of pollution, especially air pollution, is more. People never understood that, but that is the fact. Well, having said all those things, it's not a hopeless situation. Yes, planet Earth is finite. We know its resources are very limited, but human possibilities are not. You see, like we have foresight, okay? We have innovation. We can create things, and we care each other, okay? So with these faculties, what we could do, we could focus on cities, which is causing most of the problems, the current problems, okay? There are initiatives on smart cities. I was working on smart city project in Taylor's University in Malaysia. But we are going to talk about an alternative smart villages, okay? And we need to focus on energy. The most of the global economy is running on fossil fuels, okay? The whole economy is actually petrol-based economy. That needs to change. And then about our dietary habits and changeover, a low carbon diet, going a meat-free diet is highly recommended. And then we need to take care of planet Earth. Planet Earth is so big for us, we don't know how to take care of it. But every little things what we do here at your backyard will certainly help. And then naturally, the population is increasing in a tremendous rate, and we need to control the population. And so, is smart cities an answer to this? No, it is not. Rather, actually, a smart village is an answer. And India has a tradition of village panchayat, and Gramaraj, that's what Gandhi proposed first, okay? So Indians are used to actually living in villages, and the lifestyle is so suitable for Indians. So a smart village is an eco village, okay? It is ecologically concerned, and it is an organic village where no chemicals, and it's all going to be circulation, recirculation, and making it organic. It's going to be a well-being village in the sense like you don't have much pollution. You're going to have a very healthy living. And the last, a smart village is going to take all the advantages of the technology such as artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things and a whole lot of things. So a smart village is a digital village. Okay. So the smart village have the following uh, things. For example, it will be self-sustained. Okay. Self-sustenance is a very important thing. Namalwar, an organic farmer in Tamil Nadu, often says, don't take anything out of your field and don't bring anything out into the field. Okay. So that means it has to be self-sustained. Okay. And the smart village ought to be energy efficient. So we don't waste energy. Okay. And it should take circular economic principles, which Webri will talk about it soon. Okay. And it should be smart in waste management and to go for zero waste living and low carbon living, following United Nations, okay, sustainable development goals. Okay. As I told you, we'll follow IoT, work from home, and if possible, homeschooling, and promoting handicrafts and other village-based industrial things. And so, what this smart village will have. See, what we are proposing is live spaciously. Don't go on skyscrapers. India still has land. Okay. So let's have a land space of an acre. Okay. And then have a farmhouse somewhere in the middle or left or right or Vastu Sastra, wherever it says, but live with a farm surround you, with greenery surround you. Okay. And let this greenery be a native plants, a native trees. Okay. and maintain a wonderful vegetable garden and follow organic farming, okay, and eco housing. A team of engineers, probably they have joined us here, and they are our team. We have developed actually eco housing, which I'm going to explain in the next slide. That how it is sustainable. Okay, so we are actually like in the formation of a gated community of eco-friendly people. So I'm going this Sunday to visit that facility near my American college, near Aragarkoil, in the Aragarkoil foothills. And we are in the process of making, and I think that the investors are also here today. I have given them invitation to join this forum. And so what is an eco-housing? An eco-housing starts with the construction material, which is not actually the red brick, which normally we use. It creates so much of pollution, okay? But we'll go with clay bricks or fly ash bricks, which is stronger and less polluting, okay? And the eco house will have totally powered by solar energy, okay? So we don't buy any electricity from the electricity board, okay? As a solar powered water heating system, okay, a solar powered air circulation system. If you want, we could have air conditioners, but we prefer not to have air conditioners, okay? And rainwater. Rainwater is a key factor because, as I told you, the current prediction with this climate change and the global warming is most tropical countries will get more rain. So that's a good news. So we'll get plenty of rain, and we'll harvest all those rain for various reasons. We store that water for your own drinking purposes, cooking and washing and other things, household purposes. But at the same time, like we use the sump, which is where this is stored as a kind of a cooling. This is like an air conditioning effect. We are planning to do that. And the air which is entering into your home will be filtered so that no more indoor pollution, okay? And the gray water as well as the dark water is properly treated. A gray water will be filtered and getting back to your toilets and other washing facilities, whereas dark water which is coming out of your toilet, that will go to certain facility where they'll be completely digested and being reused. No septic tanks. So this system has biodigesters. And as I told you, you have air current flows. And it has other factors too. For example, these eco houses will have aerodynamically designed low powered fans. These fans are now currently used in aircrafts. When you fly, you see fans, but they consume only very, very low electricity. Okay, we will implement that kind of fans in your house. And as I told you, the whole house will have a particle filter, even particle PM 2.5 will be filtered so that you will have a clean air at your home. And in addition, we will have plants, which will absorb, whatever CO2 and other things are produced in your house, okay? And then we will implement the local design terracotta refrigerator, terracotta water things, and the whole house will be actually having sensors for carbon dioxide and temperature, and a whole lot of sensors will be installed, and that will be totally managed by Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, so that if you have a gated community, okay, an energy overflow in a house will be diverted to the next house. Or if you are in a larger community with hundreds of houses, the energy flow will be in a totally beautifully maintained system, okay, in a homeostatic state, so that nothing is really wasted. And so we'll have a terrace garden if you want, okay. We could also have a normal garden and mosquito repellent plants. And I was very surprised to see in Malaysia a very small area, but my Malaysian friends maintained it without mosquitoes. There are mosquito repellent plants can do that beautifully, okay. And so we also control the wrong entry of any wildlife like snakes and things into a house. That will be taken care of. So organic farming, coming to organic farming, And so the basic concept is normally when you have a community, you will try to fence yourself with a wall, okay, so that you think that the others should not watch you. But here the principle is just opposite. You watch others and the others watch you. In the sense, not your privacy, but instead your greenery. Okay, so that when you when will you get satisfaction when you see greenery all around you? So don't have fences. The fences would be again a life fences, that is long trees, like you can plant all those trees as a fence so that your entire gated community will be green, okay, and plant fruit trees so that they will yield fruits, and wood trees for managing future as an investment, okay, and your garden, if you maintain it carefully, and if you get involved a little bit, an organic farmer, a friend of mine, has told me that if you generate a little bit of gardening and vegetables, you will be earning something like 3,000 rupees per day, okay, of organic, organically grown vegetables, okay. And one can also have a herbarium, and then one can have millets, lentils, and the groundnut if you want, okay. And so what we want is that get away from this urban life, with this concrete jungle. Come out and have a relationship with the plants, the farm animals. We want to have pets as well as chicken, goat. And though we recommend their meat-free, low carbon lifestyle, but still these animals can be of extremely useful for organic farming. And then you can have a pool, a water pool in your backyard, either for an aquatic farming, or you could even use it as a swimming pool if you want. Okay, so I'm coming to the last few slides. So the long range benefits of such a plan, of an ecologically sound smart villages is that this is an excellent alternative for the urban living. As I told you, urban living is very heavy, okay, and it's power saving, waste producing, okay, energy demanding, and very expensive. Instead, these smart villages would be circular economy, self-sufficient, sustainable. Okay, and as I told you, this is going to be digital. Once it is digital, digital India dream will be actually met with very easily. Okay, and so you empower the residents, you empower the village people, you empower the women who is there. Okay, so we encourage local village craft, small scale industries. I saw that very clearly here during the COVID time here. The big industries have slept, and all the small industries that really maintained India, these little industries, and all these vegetables coming from your backyard and from your neighboring villages, that's what sustained India during this COVID time. So it is possible to take the same lifestyle if you go for a smart village concept. Okay. So in general, a zero waste principle, so that you don't waste anything. So you cut the waste right at the source. Okay. Yeah. Low carbon living, which ultimately will benefit planet Earth, and all the climate crisis and other things which I have narrated will be minimized if we take a smart village concept. So it's a schematic diagram to show you that how it could be like each box is a kind of an acre of land where you have a farmhouse wherever you want. You can put it, and you can grow trees, and you can have vegetable farms, or you can grow millets and whatever you want. Do it in an acre of land is a lot of space. You can do a lot of things with that. Okay, and coming to the last few slides. Okay, so persons like Stephen Hawking. So originally he thought like human species will move over to the present crisis. If we have completely spoiled the planet Earth, probably we will move over to other planets. But that will take another few thousand years. That's what his prediction, if human species survive till then. But now his last prediction is in a world that is in chaos, politically, socially, and environmentally. how can the human race sustain another 100 years? This is a very, very drastic prediction. Okay, if we don't sustain in next 100 years, okay, what are we going to do? That's why the Tamil Heritage Foundation has started a new initiative called Mudusam Kapum. That means save our heritage. Okay, our heritage includes natural heritage. And so the scientists have given us a 12-year ultimatum. Okay, if you don't do anything within the next 12 years, you cross already the tipping point, and then you enter into a era of no returns. Okay, that's what, again, like Stephen Hawking, when he was talking to BBC, said, we are close to the tipping point where global warming becomes irreversible. Okay, he was mentioning the US President Trump. So if Trump's action could push the earth over to a brink, okay, to become like Venus. Imagine the planet Venus with a temperature of 250 degrees and raining sulfuric acid instead of rainwater. Okay, this is a very, very drastic prediction, and these things can happen. But nevertheless, it is possible. It is possible that we can stop this if we act smart, if we apply innovative ideas. And as I told you, the smart village is an innovative idea that we are proposing. As I told you, this is only a concept paper. I have given you the concept, and the details are there with us. Like if you want to go for collaboration with American College, we are planning to go, and there are two other partners who are listening to me today, and we are going with them for actually showing that how these things will work. And my engineers are also listening. They are with me here, and they know the technical details. If you want to contact me, I've given you my WhatsApp number here. Please note down, or you just have a print screen. You take a screenshot of this page, and then you will know my WhatsApp number as well as my email address. Or you can always contact organizers. They will actually redirect your inquiries to me. And I take this opportunity to thank you all, and I thank American College and Tamil Heritage Foundation for giving me the chance to present our concept of smart villages. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I think Webri is ready now. So
Yes.
if she starts, then I can put her slides, and then I can I'll be under her control after this.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Kannan. Really,
Yes.
it's an international program. You are able to share global ideas to the local villages, and you are also able to check and take local ideas to global policy decisions. Really, thank you. Now I request Dr. Webri to proceed with presentation. I hope Dr. Kannan will share her PPT. After the presentations, we will have a interaction.
Okay.
Please, Webri madam, please, we can present.
She's
Yes,
there.
thank you, Dr. First of all, I would like to apologize because of the technical issues, and I also want to congratulate a principal of the American College and then the Tamil Heritage Foundation for conducting this wonderful event. And hi everyone, here is Webri from Greenwave NGO, Indonesia, and thanks for joining webinar Sustainable and Smart Village. And this session, we will talk about integrating circular economy and permaculture. In this session, we will help you to gain knowledge and understanding about smart environment, including its implementation in my village, Wonosidi village in Pacitan Regency, East Java, Indonesia. So please share my PowerPoint, sir.
1 second, 1 second. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Sure, I'm doing that. So, do you see the screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, right. So I'll make it a little larger. Come on. Okay, right. Go ahead. You tell me the next slide and then I will move. Okay. So
This is the last slide, sir.
oh, this is the last slide. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No
We'll,
worries.
we'll go back to the first one. So, sure, no problem. Okay. So this is the first one. Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and go to the
Yes.
next one, sir.
Okay. Go to the next one. Yes.
Yes, thank you so much. So currently, government of Pacitan Regency has invited us, our organization, to participate in master plan for smart city planning for Pacitan Regency. And this is the model of smart city we are using right now. There is 6 elements and in the left, and then one of them is smart environment. And that's in that element our organization has been working for. And the smart environment has 3 points to be handled in the right. Number 1 is to protecting the environment, covering the air, water, and soil. And then we also handle waste from household, industrial, and public. And then we also handle energy, covering its efficiency, responsibility, and sustainability. Please, next. And this is what happened in the planet Earth right now. Today we are facing global plastic disaster. Those plastic end up in the ocean eventually. It forms into giant plastic soup which travel around the world and kills marine life and put poison into our plate. So our children are on danger and we need to stop this catastrophe as soon as possible. And this disaster is effect of the linear economy that we are using right now. So this by linear economy, we take the resource from nature and then produce some product, use it, and we left the remain consumption that we call waste. And then the waste polluting the earth. So we absolutely need a new system that is enable us to eliminate the waste by reuse it, repair it, or recycle it. And in other words, we need to put the waste in a cycle. We call it circular economy. So by using this economic system, circular economy, the world will remain less waste, cleaner, and sustainable. Next, sir. This is our picture in Greenwave University in 2019. In that year, I got a great momentum. I was selected becoming one of 25 delegation to participate in short course tackling marine pollution issues through recycling at Greenwave University. At that moment, the 25 participants come from central government, Indonesian government, from 4 ministries, representative, and then from local and regional government representative, and then researcher from universities, and then business, recycling business entities, and also from NGO, including my NGO. And then the activities was classes, and then a site visit to Indonesian and Australian companies, and then site visit to Australian Environmental Agency government, site visit to Australian Environment NGO, site visit to Australian landfill. It was very beautiful landfill in Brisbane. It's like garden for me. And then do beach clean up, and then networking with Indonesian and Australian waste management stakeholders. And then after the short course, we obligate to do 3 months of home country project. And of course, the home country project conducted in my village, in Wonosidi village. And the goals of the short-term award is to examine marine pollution in Indonesia and Australia in the term of scale of the problem, policy setting, commercial activities, and community responses of awareness raising campaign. Next, sir. And that in that project, I was facing many difficulties to implement my 3 months of home country project, but it was blessing eventually because by facing the difficulties, apparently I tried to collect all knowledge and gathering all information I got from Greenwave University, and our organization developed a Greenwave method. Next, sir. So the Greenwave method is a waste management system with circular economy approach, which is integrating the key stakeholder within the key development, emphasizing waste segregation from the source and to be merged with local wisdom or regulation. So that moment I try to collect all knowledge and try to make some visualization about the system. Let's see the system like a tree. So in plant or tree, the most important of the tree is the root. So if the root has problem, so the entire tree will die. So in the first time, we have to synergize all stakeholders of the project. So number one, the society, the people, because they are the executor of the waste management. And then number two, we have to including a non-profit including NGO and also university. And then also the next stakeholder is fund, because every project needs fund. So either it is a fund from ourselves or from other entities, but funders should be involved in the project. And the next is profitable entity or business, because we need to make the project sustainable. And how to make it sustainable is to generate revenue from that. So we have to involve any profit entity to ensure the project is run well and sustainable. And then the last stakeholder need to be involved is the government, because government is the institution that produce regulation to the village or some certain area. And those 5 stakeholders should be involved all. Synergy. Without one of them, the project will not sustainable in our experience. And then after the stakeholder, we have to work together. All stakeholders have to work together to develop the 7 P in the above, the branches of the tree. Number one is the purpose. We have the clear purpose, certain purpose in one area. Number two is to develop the people, because they are the executor of the project. And then we have to create the product also. And then the process and also the peripherals or the tools. And then apparently pandemic COVID-19 give us lesson that we need to put passion on it, because without passion, the people sometimes not do the project because they busy to make money, because they starving. So we have to maintain the passion, and then of course the project, the progress, because we need to see the progress. Is it increasing or decreasing, something like that. So next, sir. And how is the implementation of Greenwave method? Actually, this moment I don't want to talk many about the Greenwave method, implementation of the Greenwave method, but the summary, you can see in the link provided in the screen, but I will give you several pictures about what is happening in Wonosidi village. So next, sir. This is Wonosidi village in Indonesia, in East Java province, and in Pacitan Regency. So Wonosidi village is one among 171 villages in Pacitan Regency. It is a rural village with around 100, almost 2,000 families in the village. And then the problem is our village is 40 kilometers away from the landfill. And then there is no transportation service from the government. So many people throw the garbage in sometime in the field, in the river, something like that. But that's why we need to implement zero waste or circular economy implementation in our village. Next slide. And this is the implementation of the Greenwave method in our village. So society, there is this moment about 90% of residents in Wonosidi involved in, not all, but 90% involved in the project. And then for the non-profit, there is Greenwave and Greenwave University, and also Circular Economy Village, Circular Economic Club, sorry. And then for the fund, we get funding from government of Australia through Australia Award, and then also from Women Ryan, and also funding from Pacitan Regency. And then for profit, we initiate, establish one, how to call it, like environmental worker groups, profitable, we call it Manggala Wonosidi. So the group maintain waste bank, and then buy and sell the waste from resident, and then sell it to another company, something like that. So they are profit oriented. And then from government, there is two government that is involved. Number one is Wonosidi village government, and then number two is Pacitan Regency. And then we all together, the stakeholder, develop purpose. So the purpose number one is to manage the people. How we can engage people to protect the environment and do waste management. And number two, to manage the environment itself. Number three, to manage the local economic growth in harmony. And then for people, there is 5 representative of Manggala Wonosidi in 37 neighborhood. So total ambassador for the village, 185 people. And then for the product, we will talk the product later in the next slide. And then for the process, there is village regulation. So government produce village regulation, including waste prevention, and then segregating waste into 11 categories. And prohibition. Prohibition means there is no dumping, no burning, and no unorganic landfilling. And then the peripherals, we have 7 waste bank, and then recycling unit, and also marketing unit for the waste. So they manage the some waste we recycle in the village, but some waste we sell it to other company. And then for the passion, we do monthly meeting. But since there is COVID-19 pandemic, we don't have monthly meeting, but we do meeting in WhatsApp group, and we use Facebook and also Instagram, because we need to communicate our project. And then for the progress, we record all activities in household, waste bank, recycling unit, marketing unit. And then next, sir. Now, this is in society. They in every household, they separate the waste become 11. Number 1 organic, and then soft plastic, hard plastic, paper, glass, metal, rubber, textile, electronic, hazard, and residual. So Wonosidi village has segregate waste from home. Next, sir. And this is a capacity building held by Greenwave NGO and Greenwich University and Circular Economy Club in Pacitan. We educate Manggala Wonosidi as ambassador of environmental worker group in Wonosidi. Next. This is the fund. So we receive a grant from Australian government and so also Women's Alliance and also from government of Pacitan Regency. So in 2022, government of Pacitan Regency will help Wonosidi village to build a recycling facility. Next, sir. This is the non-profit entity in Wonosidi village. We call it Manggala Wonosidi. So as I mentioned before, we do buy and selling recycle materials, and then also make some in the picture we use we see that there is woman and man creating goods from a coconut shell. So waste from coconut shell we created into we create some handcraft from it. Next, sir. This is government. In the above is government of Wonosidi village, and in the below is government of Pacitan Regency. That moment, government of Pacitan Regency visit our village to see the implementation of waste management in our village. Next, sir. This is the purpose. So the purpose written in some document, legal document. So the purpose is to create society which is excellent and possessing high environmental awareness in Wonosidi village. Number 2, to create healthy, beautiful, productive, and sustainable environment in Wonosidi village. And number 3 is to create economic growth, which is harmony with environmental preservation in Wonosidi village. And this purpose, by this purpose, all stakeholders go heading to the 3 purpose. Next, sir. And this is the people. So we before pandemic we do many building capacity building. There is seminar, training, and so on. Next, sir. And this is the product of waste recycling in our place. We number 1 we transform cooking oil into biodiesel and salt, and then we transform soft plastic into fuels, and then we also make flour from plastic, making bags, and then fertilizer, and then handcraft from coconut shell, and then in the middle bottom it was recycling towels into vases, and then in the last, the red one, it was cat bed made from how to call it in English, diapers, from diapers. So we take out the diapers, the single-use diapers, and take out the dirty, and then throw it to the toilet, and we clean up the covers and then use it as the filler of the cat bed, something like that. Next, sir. And this is the document the village regulation about waste management system in Wonosidi village. It includes from waste prevention, how to waste sorting, how to do waste collection, how to do waste recycling, how to handle electronic waste, hazardous waste, and residual for treatment for the residual, and then how to treat liquid waste, and how to treat gases, and some prohibition and also penalty, and all written in the document. Yes, this is the peripherals, the tools. So starting from zero waste personal kit, so we encourage people to have multi-use multi-use bag, and also using multi-use bottle and so on. And then that's the sorting tools in the every household. And then recycling unit in the left side, in the bottom, it was the machine of that we use to transform plastic, soft plastic into fuel. And then the right one in the bottom, it is the waste bank, one of waste bank in Wonosidi village. Next one. Next. This is the the previous one. Yes. So this is in the above. That's the how we maintain our passion. So above we do meeting, but because of the pandemic, now we are doing the meeting in the WhatsApp group. Next, sir. And all progress is recorded and monitored and evaluated. Next, sir. And this is in 5th of March 2021, we eventually inaugurate as education tourism village with theme of waste management based on circular economy. So it's inaugurated by the region of Pacitan, and then also from government of Australia in Surabaya. Next. And then when we were in Australia, we found that waste composition, the biggest composition in almost every country is the organic waste. So that moment, I asked Dr. Sunil, my lecturer from Greenwave University, to give me suggestion. And that moment, he sent me a PDF about permaculture. Next, sir. So in the PDF, I found that the permaculture has 12 principles, and then one of them is produce no waste, and it is very aligned with circular economy. So we connect the permaculture and waste management by focusing on the 6 principle. Next, sir. So after the non-organic project, now we are starting to do how to handle the organic waste. So this moment we has a pilot project. We call it Nacho Permahimsa Garden. You can find it in YouTube. So we will upload every activities, every tutorial, how to manage the Nacho Permahimsa Garden. So Nacho Permahimsa Garden is a household scale of food forest, which is adopting natural farming, permaculture, and ahimsa. Next. Next, sir. Next.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So this is what we are doing. Not yet the previous one.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The next one. The previous one.
The previous one.
Yes, yes.
This one.
Not, no, the previous one with many product on it. That, yes, that
Yes,
is.
yes. Oh, okay.
Yes, yes. Okay. So this is, so apparently not Permain Garden. In the next one, that so many product on it. So
Yeah, here.
yes.
Yes.
So apparently we can create many product from our organic waste. So we divided into 4 categories. Number 1 is how to improve our soil. So in this part, we cannot. So in this part, we have to formulate organic waste, certain organic waste, to improve our soil specifically. So for this case, you cannot use this formula in your soil, except your soil has similar character with my soil. So for my soil, we create a rice hull chars, organic mulching, fermented coconut water, amino acid, humic acid, and then a fermented rice hull, and we create also fermented mixed chicken waste, a kitchen waste, and then we create hormones for agriculture, but we create it from plant. So that the formula for the sticky soil, sticky hard soil like our soil in Naju Permahimsa. And you also, but you can copy the formula for vegetative and generative. So in this case, we make liquid fermented greens like leaf, something like that, rich because leaf has rich nitrogen. So it's very good for vegetative phase in planting, for the planting. And then also we produce solid fermented greens. And also we can use the plain jakaba. Jakaba is some like fungi in Indonesia, but I don't know Indian has jakaba or not because it's natural microbes in our place. And for generative, we use waste from fruit or tubers or peel of them. We can use it because they rich of kalium and phosphor. So it's very good for generative fertilizer. And also we fermented banana peels by using jakaba. So, and also for the microbiology, we create photosynthetic bacteria and then local microorganisms. So we utilize local microorganism and then also create nitrobacter isolate and then make lactic acid bacteria and also taking bacteria from the fertile soil in our local community. And the next, next. No, the previous one. Next. No, the previous one. With three picture of it. Next, previous one. Yeah, that's right. So, no, the next one. Sorry.
This is okay?
Yes. The trip with three picture. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe there is an lag between in internet. So there is, you can see in the middle bottom, you can see there is in the left, the soil appears brown, yellowish, right? And in the right is the treated soil. In the left is untreated soil. Actually, it is they are came from one place, right? And then the untreated soil has character sticky and hard, and then also poor of nutrition and no life on it. Even grass don't want to grow on the soil. And then we transform the soil just in 3 months by using just organic waste from our environment and using local and small and local microbiologists. We create bacteria, isolate of bacteria, and then in just in 3 months, the soil transform into the right one. So the texture become loosen and soft, and then rich of nutrition, and also we see many small animals, beneficial small animals on that. Oh, I cannot see. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Next one.
Yes, next one. So by in Nacu Permahimsa, so eventually Nacu Permahimsa Garden covers 11 of 70 SDGs. So there is no poverty, and of course by plants that we will cultivate, there is no hunger anymore, and then the organic plants will promote good health for the family. And then of course this practice need uh, good education. We do research, we do practice, and so on. And then it's supporting gender equality, so men and women can do the project. And then also the 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 garden is typical of saving water. It's like water harvesting. They have a water harvesting system, rainwater harvesting. And then they also we can also selling the product from the garden also to support SDGs number 8, decent work and economic growth, and then reduce inequality. And then of course, because we implement circular economy, so we supported responsible responsible consumption and production. And then we also supported climate action, and then also supporting life on land. Next. Next. Oh, no, the previous one. Sorry. So by Manggala Wonosidi project and also Nacu Permahimsa Garden project, we already fulfilling three elements of smart environment. So for the protection, we protect air, water, and soil through Nacu Permahimsa Garden. And for waste management, we manage household, industrial, and public waste by doing waste segregation from home, and also by business conduct by Manggala Wonosidi. And for the energy, we produce biodiesel from used cooking oil, and also transform soft plastic into fuels also. Next. Yes. So that's the last page of my presentation. So if any issues you can or wants to connect with Greenwave NGO, please contact us in the email and also my WhatsApp number. Thank you so much. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Webri. Really, it's a very wonderful presentation. Really, it's an international webinar. We are able to see international faces, international culture, international languages. Again, I must thank Dr. Subashini and Dr. Kannan for making this event very, very international in character. And now the floor is open for the interaction. I know it's very difficult to allow all the participants to ask questions or to allow all the people to speak. But as a random, we will give chances to few leaders and friends. The feedback form is also on the way. Within few minutes, you will get a feedback form. And all the people who are giving feedback, you will get a certificate. If you find any difficulty, we please contact us. We will support you. Now it's a time for interaction. Those who are interested to raise some points or clarifications or suggestions, please raise your hand. We will give a chance. First chance goes to Mr. Rugul Amin. Yes. Amin, please. It's a humble request to all the people, those who are raising hand, be sharp at your question, only one question or only one point, because we must give more chances to many people, please.
Unmute.
Yeah, Mr. Rugul Amin, please, you can speak.
He has to unmute. It's muted.
Please unmute yourself.
Maybe the
Rugul, actually, we given a privilege to you. Please, you can unmute yourself.
Maybe we go to the next one.
Yeah, I think he's fine. He's finding some difficulty. Maybe invite other people. Yeah, Mr. Maran Nandan, please.
Okay.
Now it's your time.
Okay. Good evening. I'm talking from Sydney, Australia, and great. I was listening to Webri's talk earlier, and she has touched about Australia's system. And I'm very much close to the Olympic Park, where the Olympic Park is built here. And it was one point of time, it was actually a vestige place. But this has been completely recovered, and it's becoming, Olympic Park was built on it. So that is an example how we can coordinate. And I myself did my LLM in water law. And as we all know, the civilization starts in the river. One of the hurdles which we face everywhere, even in Australia, including Australia, was where the authorities, the public, the system is not well managed. For example, Dr. Kannan is from Malaysia. He knows how the Muthuraja lake has been built, but they themselves facing the same problem when it comes to management of the water. So what I want to know, to be very precisely, in the Asian countries, we have mainly, besides the awareness, the law, we have hurdles like every state. For example, in India, in Malaysia, the state laws are the laws and regulation ordinance, which is actually blocks, okay, for a central authority to coordinate. For example, in Australia also we had Murray Basin Darling, which was once, and then when the corporation comes from center, then they could revive. So is there any project or similar projects where India or Malaysia can revive and look into that? That's all my comment here.
Thank you, Maran. I hope Dr. Kannan will respond the information, the valuable information shared by Mr. Maran. Can I request Dr. Kannan, sir? Can you respond, please?
Well, actually, I would actually recommend whether Jacqueline can answer to that, because I'm not much. I'm very much an academic guy, and I'm not much involved in administration. But one of my colleague, Jacqueline, probably she can answer if she's around. Regarding the water problems, what Maran has mentioned about in Putrajaya, there are actually swamp areas where they are trying to filter through the reeds. This reed filtering is also practiced in Korea, which I have seen it. the soul stream has been beautifully actually cleaned by natural ways, by reeds and other things. And I was shown that at the end of the things, this unclean water can be drinkable, you know. So there are ways with which, you know, the vetiver and a whole lot of other things, you know, could be actually implemented and used for that. Yeah, that would be my response.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Kannan. And really, it's a presentation by Warren. This value addition to this webinar. Now it's a time for Dr. Lourdes, a gender activist. I think she has some points to add. Please.
Nice presentation, Dr. Kannan and Webri Veliana. Gandhiji firmly believed the soul of India lives in its villages. If the villages perish, then our country will perish. Like these type of webinars and awareness program, I'm sure we preserve our soul without further damage for our future generation. I congratulate the organizers for arranging such a wonderful program. As an academician, it's our responsibility to be with you. Dr. Kannan, I have a clarification, it's not a question. As a college or as an organization, is it possible to adopt a village and is it possible to make it as a smart village?
Yes, sure. Actually, like what Webri has shown is that, you know, she's an airways person, but then because of her passion, she came into that. And so she has shown that in Indonesia, they actually converted a small village. But you know, compared to that village, Indian villages have more population. But, you know, if you do the proper, you know, education, you know, like, and then show them the techniques with which actually, like, as I told you earlier, the cultural environmentalism is to take native knowledge, okay? There's been all there, you know, the only thing is we have forgotten. And so if you could bring all those things, you know, from elders and others and then put into practice, you know, we could easily convert, you know, that is one of the hopes that Tamil Heritage Foundation with American College, because American College has adapted few villages, and if we could implement some of these principles there and to see that whether it works, and probably Webri could also help us out.
Yeah, Webri also can respond because Dr. Lourdes had a question. The practice of making smart villages or creating smart villages. Since Webri presented a different models from your region, if you have any suggestions, please share with Dr. Lourdes. Please.
Yes, so my suggestion is number one, we have to find at least one person who has passion to create the smart village. So find the one person who willing to do anything. In this case, the person in my village is myself. So I do everything I can do to connect with all stakeholders and then try to find the funding. So I'm using the Greenwave method. So we have to collect all stakeholder and work together in one purpose, at least one purpose. And we have three purposes, right, mentioned before. And then probably you for the further explanation, you can contact me so I can explain further about the Greenwave method, because it's very useful for collecting all stakeholder and then to do the process, something like that. So
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
thank
we
you,
need
Webri. It's a very responsible response. I think another person is on the line. Dr. Rugul Amin, you can please unmute yourself, then you can raise your point, please. Next to Amin, we'll give a chance to Dr. S.K. Prakash. If Amin is not ready, we will request Mr. S.K. Prakash, please ask your question or clarification, suggestions.
I'm Prakash from the college, Chennai.
Yeah, please, sir.
Yeah. Actually, the this is not a question. In fact, my observation is.
Dr. Prakash, can we see your face? If you are in video, we will see your face because we are in Corona time. At least we can see you face to face.
I am on the way to my home from the college. Okay,
yes,
I can show my face, no problem.
Thank you. Please.
In fact, I have worked for some time on developing a model that is sustainable, integrated farm villages. I have worked on some of these, and I put some of my work in some of my research in some research papers. So my point here is, why can't we, in a collaborative way, think of, say for India, I mean, this is a high time because we are talking about the severity of the climate change. So this is the high time to implement this kind of circular economy, smart villages, sustainable integrated farming villages, and so on. So one point here is, why can't we give a suggestion to the government to take away all the Parambok lands, to convert it into agricultural, all this kind of villages. And today there is no dearth of data. So we have n number of data. We are today talking, in fact, we are talking about big data. So by using this data, as you said, we can plan for 1 acre how much of, say, in a particular area based on the population, how much of food is required, how much of air is required. So we can calculate very easily, and accordingly we can supply from these smart villages. It is possible one, and it's why can't we go ahead with mass planning system and use the data, have a good number of data with all kind of population, all kind of demographic factors. So can we go in a massive way, run the government, take away some of the unused ones, put them into smart integrated farming villages, and then for each area we can we can go planning, as you said, we can for crop production, rice production, water. I think agricultural acts can be massively within the urban areas. So we need to divide urban and rural as such. It is all, and one more thing is coming up. Hydroponics. I think you know hydroponics in like in Singapore, terrace gardening. So we are 8 in the square. Short field. There are people doing even saffrons.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Prakash. I think this is like another presentation. We will get to more input from you in future. Maybe because of time constraints, we are requesting participants to have only 1 or 2 questions. Really, I must thank Dr. Prakash. Thank you. And we have one more person in the line, Mr. Veluswamy. Can we request Veluswamy, please unmute yourself? We can ask your question. Veluswamy, please. Yeah, you can speak. The feedback form is on the chat box. People who are interested, please use the feedback, and you can also receive certificate of participation from the organizing team. Yes, next person, Mr. Kali Muthu. Mr. Kali Muthu, please unmute yourself, then you can speak. There are many people.
Yes, thank you for giving for this opportunity.
Yes, Mr. Kali Muthu, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Yeah.
Here, I didn't take any doubt. I want to just convey a suggestion about Webri Veliana ma'am's explanation. Who understand the explanation. Number one, asking too many questions to us. Webri Veliana ma'am's explanation is like second type. Good presentation explanation. I didn't get any doubt. So I want to mark my word that that is a nice presentation and this is a nice webinar for me to help my studies.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a great. Maybe the interest of our department, I must share this information to Dr. Kannan and Dr. Webri Veliana. The Mr. Kalimuthu is a product of Tamil medium, hailing from a remote village. He is able to contribute quality points in international webinar. That is a way we have to move. That's the best example of a sustainable and smart villages. That's why whether we have an answer for his question or not, whether we are able to execute his suggestion or not, but this is an illustration for international webinar on sustainable and smart villages. Thank you, Mr. Kalimuthu. Really great. Thank you. And we have I think we will spend 1 or 2 questions. I know Dr. Vivek is eagerly waiting for proposing vote of thanks. With the permission of Mr. Vivek, can we allow 1 or 2 people to interact? Now it's a time for Ms. Magilini. This Miss or Mr. Magilini, please. Yeah, Magilini, please, you can join.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Please.
Hello,
Please
sir.
introduce yourself for a larger audience, for benefit of larger audience. Please introduce yourself.
So this is Madurai. I just completed my undergraduate. I'm currently speaking from Chennai. First of all, Webri Veliana ma'am, my great congratulations to you because you are the beginner in your village and the cooperation of the entire village has shown your village to the entire world. And I thought of these ideas, and when I speak to my family, they say that they are utopian thoughts. It cannot be practical. And when I see an example like you, it's really unimaginable and it's inspiring too. And my question to Kannan sir, sir, are there any examples in India in the part of smart villages or eco-housing? Because we have a very huge population and we have very difference in urban and village setup. So eco-housing, due to the climate which we face, are there any examples or how can we expect this? Because with the help of the government, that's my question, sir.
Yeah. Actually, like the talks are there all around India. The people have been talking about it. There are in TV shows, people talk about this sustainability and things like that. But as you rightly mentioned, we haven't really started seriously on this one. And that's why me being pushed from Malaysia into India because of Corona. So I thought like while I'm staying here in India, I should do something, useful in my time. And then I have some real nice partners, like 3 engineers from Coimbatore has joined me now. And there are 2 other entrepreneurs, from Chennai and Madurai has joined me. And so with this team, now we are going to implement, probably that would be the first smart village if we could ever create. And so I have visited the site, about 120 acres of land near Chengalpet in Attur, and that we plan to develop into smart villages. And the other one is on the foothills of Aragargoil. There we want to actually implement the eco-housing, because that was basically a housing project. And so we says like, don't be a energy savvy housing, like the concrete houses which we create, which is demanding energy, and so here we say like we'll bring in all recyclable, circular economy there, and so that nothing is wasted there. It's a zero waste concept. And so the investors have been interested in this one. And so actually this Sunday I'm going to visit the site, but I have seen videos of that. My engineers have visited there. And so if American College cooperates, we could implement, if Webri could visit us sometime in the future, we could implement some of her ideas into the villages in India, As Webri has rightly said, it is up to Dr. Raja to actually get some really, really passionate people, the die-hard fans of sustainability, and only those people can really, get in, and whatever sufferings they have, they will try to see that things. Actually speaking, today I also invited one from Medicia. Medicia is in Madurai. They have this small and business group, together. And Dr. Jagan Mogan is here. And he has also great plans, what we could do in the Poromboku land, which somebody has mentioned. And we have plans actually to make it green in Madurai area. And we need to identify the Poromboku land and then to see that what we could do about it. So there are a lot of things in plan now, but to answer Mahilini, but I have not seen actually any smart villages, but we have smart organic farms, and they're all there. But an integrated village, including digital ideas, nobody has thought about it yet. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Kannan. It's a really a good response. When the student introduced herself as only just a undergraduate, but she has a very valuable question to be discussed for another 10 years. That kind of questions she has. Thank you, madam. Since we have a limited time, and I also promised to close the session around 4 o'clock, with the permission of speakers and the association partners, we will come to vote of thanks session. Before inviting Dr. Vivekanandan Muthuswamy to propose vote of thanks, it's a request to all the participants. The feedback form is in the chat box. Please send your feedback, and there is an email ID in the chat box also. Whatever suggestions, whatever clarifications, whatever remarks, if you want to share anything, please send. If you have a more valuable points, you can send it to us. On the basis of your suggestions, we will have more programs in future. Really, on behalf of American College, on behalf of my principal, Dr. Davamani Christober, on my department, economics department, and the economics army, we used to call economics army of American College. I must thank all people. The official vote of thanks by Mr. Vivekanandan Muthuswamy. Now I request Mr. Vivekanandan, please, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, all. And I am Vivekanandan, Programs and Technical Head, Tamil Heritage Foundation International. And I'm here to propose vote of thanks on the webinar organizing team, that is Postgraduate and Research Department of Economics, the American College, Madurai, India, and Tamil Heritage Foundation, Kadigai, THFi, Virtual Academy of Excellence. I thank Dr. M. Davamani Christober, Principal and Secretary, the American College, Madurai, for his inaugural address, and Dr. K. Subashini, President, THFi, Germany, Director, THFi Virtual Academy of Excellence, for giving his felicitations. Thank you, madam. And I especially thank the speakers, Dr. N. Kannan, MD, Smart Green Consultancy, Malaysia, and Ms. Webri, Veliana, founder, NGO, Jakarta, Indonesia, for their valuable and meaningful green economics knowledge sharing. Special thanks to all participants and guests who actively involved in the webinar. I thank coordinator of this webinar along with me, Mr. Dr. K. Usha, faculty member and webinar organizing team. And I also thank for all joined in the interactive session and asked questions. Lastly, I also thank the convener, Dr. C. Muthuraja, PhD, Head, PG and Research Department of Economics, the American College, Madurai. Thank one and all, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe on behalf of American College, I must say a few words. So really, it's a wonderful program. Even though the name is Tamil Heritage Foundation International, but it must be go globally. That's why we plan. I think across language, across region, across different things, we reached the entire world. As per our information, nearly 20+ countries delegates participated in the program. So really, I must thank Tamil Heritage Foundation, particularly Dr. Subashini and Dr. Kannan and Dr. Vivek for their full support on behalf of American College. I must thank. In future program also, we will try to collaborate with the entire team, and a special collaboration may be made with Dr. Webri in future programs, because Webri has more global input in terms of green economics. So once again, we must thank all the delegates, all the participants, all the leaders, and all the leaders of Tamil Heritage International Foundation. Thank you one and all. Dear participants, we will be on the line for a few more minutes. You can use your feedback form, and you can send whatever information you want to send it to us. That will help us to have a better program in future. Special thanks to speakers, Dr. Kannan and Dr. Webri. Thank you one and all. Thank you.